Hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This channel is made only possible and special because of you, my subscribers, and I am in full gratitude for you to allow me to share time with you and for me to share my passion of astrology with you. So, this is the weekly KK Report. So, the weekly KK Report works in that we talk about the daily astrological weather, as above, so below, helping you stay in the flow with the energy, utilizing it for your highest success. It is my passion to inspire, motivate, and encourage you. And if there's any small piece of information that makes and resonates with you and helps change you in a positive way, then I am eternally grateful for that. The pathway to personal growth is through an exceptional personal awareness, and astrology is one of the best tools for that. So, this is a general forecast. Get your journals out. We talk about each day of the week, what the energy is like. This is in general what's happening. If you want to go to your monthlies, the monthly reports are done on my YouTube channel. You need to read your sign and your rising sign, and then you have an idea of how the energies are specifically affecting you. But for the best measure, you have to get your own natal chart forecast done. And as a complete lifestyle health and astrological success coach, coaching you to utilize this energy to make transformative changes in your life is my specialty, and love that. So, who's hot this week? Well, you know what? Leo and Leo rising continues to be hot. And they were hot over the weekend, obviously, because we had that lunar eclipse, partial lunar eclipse in Leo, but very important lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipses come on 90 days in advance, and they can last for up to 6 months after. In fact, we will see what's going on with this in August. Because that will be 6 months after we've got a new moon in the sign of Leo. But this full moon lunar eclipse, as I repeated last week when we talked about it, this is the celebration of the Venus-Sun conjunction all the way back in August 2015. Now, I'm going to be talking about that. We're having another Venus and Sun conjunction. When Venus is retrograde, it's closest to the Earth. This conjunction makes a huge statement because Venus is the planet that describes what you want, what we desire. Mars is the planet that goes and gets that. So these are efficiency type of planets. And if you're not sure what you want, then Mars has a real hard time going to get what you want. In fact, it will bring you back something and you might just accept it. That's about having values. So that is the Taurus Libra whole interchange here with Venus, because in relationships, we must have our own personal self-value and we must look at our own values. And then in Libra, it's about uniting in a relationship with someone that has those or recognizes those values. So if we're not creating boundaries or not recognizing our values, we'll accept less than what we want, and then we're not getting what we want. So it's about being clear on that. Clarity comes from action, not from thought. This year is all about taking action. Right now, it's all about taking action because Venus and Mars in the sign of Aries is the go green lights. And in this year of the fire, it's actually the hen, the chicken, because it's a female fire year, they say. So the fire chicken year, this is not only about exciting because it's fire, but the chicken wants results. So you have to be focused, more diligent. You have to show up. So this is about taking this heart energy that we have, this passion that we have, but doing the work and showing up on time. And because the chicken year and in the chicken in Chinese astrology represents the fall or the harvest, this says if you do your work, you will reap the fruit of your reward. So you'll get the reward for this hard effort And, you know, globally, of course, there's going to be big stuff going on this year. It will be exciting. I've read that and seen that Mars is going to be strong in almost every eclipse in different ways, especially in August. So, and then, of course, Mars is going to be triggering these eclipses like I've pointed out in my past videos. Mars will be triggering the eclipses April and in May. So interesting times going on. So Leo and Leo rising, let's go back to that. We got off tangent a little bit, but I had mentioned Tom Brady and J-Lo, Leos. Leos are going to be in the spotlight for the next year, year and a half. Now, Leos are big this week too because we have the aftermath, of course, of the Leo lunar eclipse. We're still being reminded of getting into that heart energy. We've got Valentine's Day tomorrow, and that's all about getting centered in the heart chakra type of energy, and the moon will be in Libra too. So it's a really beautiful day to share warmth and love and appreciation for those that are your partner. Sun is also sextile to Saturn right now. So that is just a warm welcoming of opportunity for you are getting results by putting in some effort, responsibility, grounding, building. And so let's look at some famous Leos here that might be in the spotlight. And there's a whole host of Leos who are athletic stars. Jordan Spieth, now he's been popular for a bit. Now, you want to know that Jupiter was in the sign of Leo 2 years ago. So, in fact, during the time that Sun and Venus were together in the summer of 2015, because Venus and Jupiter were also coming together. Incredible time, right? So, some of these Leos, Jordan Spieth actually won the tournament, I believe, in golf. That was 2 or even 3 years ago. A-Rod, Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, all of those had issues around doping issues during the time that Saturn was going through Leo. Pete Sampras, a Leo. Hope Solo, a Leo. Now, if Whitney Houston was still alive, when this year she might have had some, great comeback in a way, or at least starting a few years ago when Jupiter was in her sign. Arnold Schwarzenegger, a Leo. Leo represents confidence, leadership. It is the leader. It is the king of the jungle, the females and the males. It is creative self-expression. It is being on stage. So no doubt there are both stars in the sports world as well as actors and actresses that are very popular, and creative sources, designers, Coco Chanel, the little black dress. Let's see who else. Roger Federer, of course. He's been hot. Now let's look at some hot movie stars. So Jennifer Lawrence has been hot for a few years now, noted to be, I believe, last year or the year before, the highest paid female actress. Donnie Wahlberg is a Leo. He's on Blue Bloods, and their whole family, very popular. Several kings and queens, King William IV, King George IV, both Leos. And Madonna, so let's look at Madonna this year and see where she goes. She is the queen of reinventing herself. And I know she just was issued an award for female importance. I can't remember the exact name of the award, but big. Of course, the sexual energy of Leo, very strong. Mae West, she was a Leo, sex symbol, of course. And Steve Carell, I don't know if he's going to be in any more movies coming up. So who else? Oh, Robert De Niro. I think I haven't seen him in a movie recently, and I think he's coming out with one. Now, Thor, Chris Hemsworth, sorry. He's also a Leo. So lots of Leos. Keep your eye out for them. There's way more than that. J-Lo, of course, I already mentioned. And, Tom Brady, that whole thing of leading the team, having confidence in yourself. Leos are just known for that. So let's move on. Who else is really popular this week is Pisces. And that's because Pisces is going to have the sun going into their sign. on Saturday. So it's happy birthday to Pisces. We're all wrapping up the year. So Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. It's a time to wrap up the normal, natural, astrological year where we assess all we've done, we digest it, we get ready and prepare for a new year. So it's similar, obviously, to the whole thing of winter and eating and your health. When you're building up the body, you're taking time, you're getting extra rest and sleep and maybe journaling and meditating, just so your body's prepared to burst forward in the spring with energy. Well, we're already getting some of that energy now because we've got Venus and Mars in the sign of Aries. But when the sun goes into Pisces, of course, that's going to activate the other mutable sign angles, because the angles of the chart are the most important. The first is the South. The seventh is the relationships and all the people that you meet. At the bottom of the chart, your fourth house. That angle represents your home, your private self. How it's your most primal kind of self. And then how the world sees you is at the top of the chart. That represents your career. So Virgos are going to be having their relationships in the spotlight, social, getting out there, meeting other people, opportunities for that. Geminis, it's about your career and your image out in the world. It's your reputation. And Sagittarius, it has to do with your home life, your private life, and doing more things around the home. So let's get right into Monday and get on with this. So Monday, this is today. I did this video 2 times. Okay, this is the second time. So we're having to redo this, and probably because the moon was void when I was doing it, things didn't work so well on the uptake. But the moon was void until 3:43 p.m., but the moon was in void after last meeting with Saturn. So today was a lot about that earth energy, which we beautifully had over the weekend. Great working weekend, especially yesterday with the moon trine to Pluto during the afternoon into the evening, focused and intense. So you're able to focus on what you needed to. The earth signs really get us, grounded and get us practical moving forward. Saturn is about stability, building, and responsibility. So this morning and today really got stuff done. The moon goes void. It was void, but then it came out of void at 3:45 about when the moon goes into the sign of Libra. Libra is a cardinal sign, action. People, you're taking action. People are calling you. You need stuff done. Libra is about being with other people, social, your relationship skills, being, more diplomatic, gaining cooperation with others because you're, that's the whole part. Aries is in it for themselves. They're doing what they need to do. And so we've got this whole polarity, though, talking this year because Uranus is in Aries, saying break free, close the doors behind you, be new. But Jupiter is opposite that, saying don't forget about your relationships. Don't forget to use the skills that you learned when Saturn was going through the sign of Libra from 2010 to 2012 before it went into Scorpio. So we're using those skills because what we realize is that we need other people to go forward where we're going. So we must play nice in the sandbox, right? So when the moon's in Virgo, it's about being healthy, organized, efficient, all this routine stuff. And I know I was taking care of some health things, and now it's all about chatting, social, doing things with other people, and meeting the public, getting out there, taking your wares out to the public. That's what happens after Virgo. Virgo edits, sorts, makes things better, and then you get it out there so that somebody out there sees what you have, and possibly they want to merge with you. That's just the whole cycle. The life cycle when in the sign of Libra. So everything's more social, diplomatic. It's the sign of mediation. Things speed up. And this is Monday. So here we go. Tuesday. Tuesday's tomorrow. Tuesday is Happy Valentine's Day to all my lovely subscribers. I hope you have a wonderful day. And what's going to be helping you is the fact that the moon is in the sign of Libra. Perfect. That's all about relationships, playing nice, being sweet, being cooperative, being diplomatic. And it's a Mars day. Mars days are generally more passionate. There's more arguments depending on what Mars is doing. But Mars in Aries is about go, go, go. They've had it. They want to move forward. It's just go for it. It's just do it. It's the quintessential Nike sign. It's about being passionate, courageous, and bold. Mars is getting out there to go get us what we want. It's been speaking with Venus. They're both in Aries. They haven't met exactly. That won't happen until later this year. But they're in the same sign, close proximity. They're working well together. Venus is assessing what she wants. Now, she's going to be going retrograde to take this to a deeper level. But right now, this is working like it is. Plus, Venus we're still in a celebratory mode after Venus reached wholeness January the 13th, and it doesn't reach completion until March 4th when Venus goes retrograde. Venus is currently in the it's in the shadow path. Shadow just means that there is a point that Venus is going to move back over when it goes retrograde. So we are kind of at an intuitive level picking up on things about ourselves that we are going to be taking a deeper look at. So that, because taking a look at your values in a deeper level, that is what it's about. I need to shift my seat here, sorry. So happy Valentine's Day. Like I said, go for it. Have a beautiful afternoon. Mars and Moon are in opposition, 4:42 p.m. Keep yourself in balance. Keep your emotional self in balance. Moon in Libra says play nice, get along, and Mars wants to just go do its thing. So there's definitely a balance going on there. Any opposition has to do with relationships. So don't get into little arguments because you're not being paid attention to. Be aware of needing to pay attention to your spouse, your partner, the person that supports you. It's a give and take. Maybe you're working too much on things that are meaningful to you, which is great, but don't forget who helped you get there and who's helping you go forward. So it's a perfect Valentine's Day. I love the moon position there. All right, Wednesday is a Mercury day. Mercury is the messenger of the zodiac. Mercury does not have a masculine or feminine connotation. It is more benign in that way, but Mercury meets with a planet. It absorbs the energy of other planets. It goes and it retrogrades. It gets 3 times a year. It gets information. So that's why Mercury ruled people tend to be a little scattered, because that's the energy of Mercury. And Mercury in Gemini is the most scattered. So it is, although it's very good at chit-chat. Don't get caught up in the gossip. That is the lowest level of that. But chit-chatting, just, chatting, internet stuff. It's because the 3rd house represents Gemini, and that has to do with all of our internet social media stuff. And it's brilliant if you're really good at that, because this is where a lot of the business is really reaching and engaging with the public today. It is a 4-star business day on Wednesday. Mercury is shining right now, bright and bold in Aquarius. Mercury is very intelligent in Aquarius, technical, intelligent, innovative, inventive. It's the rebel. They have a unique mindset, and the mindset is much more analytical in a kind of a dry, non-emotional way. So we have this humanitarian type of mindset as well. It's a great thing to discuss plans to get favorable outcome and responses, because Mars is applying in a sextile to Mercury. Well, Mercury is applying in a sextile to Mars because Mercury is behind right now. But that sextile is always about opportunity, and Mars livens things up. All right, so our brains and our minds are just very lively right now. Take forward action on your thoughts, and you're thinking outside the box, and just move with them. Thursday, we've got the moon going into the sign of Scorpio. So it's going to be in Scorpio through Saturday morning, late morning. And this is about focus, intensity. The sign of Scorpio is where we merge with other people. So this is business. This is business mergers. This is investments. mergers. This is sexuality. This is, it is the area where Saturn went over the last, it finally was out in 2015. And what it was saying during that time, it says, listen, if you've merged with people that don't represent who you are, you need to move away from that. So it was looking at that. Every time the moon goes through Scorpio now, we get little tastes of that come up. What are we reminded of that we need to leave behind, closets that we need to clean out? But Thursday is a Jupiter day. Jupiter is in the sign of Libra. Now, Jupiter is now retrograde. It's still giving us blessings. It take the foot off the pedal so that we can digest what we have learned so far. It is going to be there through October of this year before it goes into Scorpio. Then Scorpio is going to have some blessing times. It's going to go direct on June the 9th. But Jupiter is all about teaching. It's about growth, how we learn. It's protection. It's blessings. So relationships, cooperation, and diplomacy, very big. And it is teaching us to keep this in mind and to grow in those areas. So the skills that we learned from 2010 to 2012, you can put to work now. And you have everything around you to support you in that. People born in 1981, when Saturn, Jupiter came together in the sign of Libra, that's a blessing for you now. And those are business planets, Saturn and Jupiter, expansion, contraction. When they come together, it plants a seed. And the last time that seed was planted was in March of 2000. And, we're going to be seeing that come aboard too, I think at the full moon in Taurus coming up in a few months. So, all of these planetary events, when planets come together and they unfold, things trigger them, and we get reminded of that. But if you're born in 1981, chances are you could be having, a great deal of success right now on you. Focus, intensity, investments, mergers, all that big on Thursday, and a great deal to do with that. Friday is a Venus day. Venus is very, very popular now, like I said. So, in retrograde, March the 4th, March is going to be a huge month for Venus because Venus goes retrograde. Write these dates down in your journal. It's really good. March 4th, Venus goes retrograde. Taurus rising, Libra rising. Your ruler is going to be sleeping until April the 15th. So you're taking some things to a deeper level. And those things have to do with I am me. That's Aries. It says, and it makes us conjure up, who are you? So who are you during this time? March 25th is the big day. It's the revelation. We get revelations. It may reveal what's been going on behind the scenes in relationships, good or bad. But you are planting a seed somewhere that represents who you are. On March 25th, Venus retrograde conjuncts the sun. It is closest to the earth at this point, and then it starts moving away. March 31st, it is going to be visible again in the morning sky, and it goes invisible on March the 18th. So you see, during that time, it's a real deepening. It's a real deepening of this thing we're incubating now, and then it moves forward. Venus moves forward all the way to June the 3rd. And during this time, we are awakening to this individual intention that we're bringing out. It's raw, it's naive, and it's celebratory. So we're going to be having some fun. And don't worry, we'll be tested after June 3rd for a while because, we have to tweak things. It's kind of like Virgo in a way. We need to make it better. So Moon's going to be trining Neptune very early in the morning on Friday. So Thursday night, don't get into trouble with drinking, drugs, things like that. That's very Neptune. Checking out a really great thing to do would be movies. Getting caught up in fantasy world. Know what's real because that's what we're building a future on now. Not something that can just dissolve, but also get into your vision of what you want to do. So if you haven't been journaling recently, Thursday night would be a great night to do that. And the moon goes void on Friday, 2:38 p.m., and it's sextile Pluto. Excellent day to move forward in business ventures and in powerful ways. Now, Saturday, the moon's going to be shifting as void until 1:52 p.m. And so it shifts from being intense into open and excited and, optimistic. That's Sagittarius. Optimistic, future thinking, freedom, getting outside, exercising, working out. The sun goes into Pisces at 6:32 a.m. on Saturday. So we've got the last degrees of Aquarius coming, and we're going to be moving into the water energy. So Mars, we've had a lot of water energy in January. There was a lot of, Pisces energy going on and Neptune energy going on. So we are going to be kind of sitting in that once again, getting ready to go forward, which is great because Venus is retrograde during that time, and it just kind of sets the mode. Last quarter moon. All right. So it's a last quarter moon. This means you have to refine what you have learned since the new moon. So this is a lunation period from new to first quarter to full moon to last quarter. These are all steps in this lunation. We adjust. The action around a last quarter is the action that is mature and equivalent to that of Capricorn. It wants accomplishment. So we are getting some accomplishment on Saturday. And the rest of the weekend, exciting, just kind of fun because the moon is in Sag. It wants to kind of have fun. And with the sun in Pisces on Sunday, these two work really well together. It's mutable, it's changeable, it's compassionate, it's flexible. It's a day to kind of unwind because on Monday, with the moon still there, a lot of fire energy going on with the aspects, and the last aspect is moon conjunct Saturn. So Monday we will be getting things done and paying attention to our responsibilities to get success. So guys, I hope you love this week's weekly KK report. Please get your journals out because it's the best thing to take little notes along the way, especially when there's a void period. When the moon is void, take care of what is on your plate and then get ready to move forward when the moon goes into another sign. This is about staying in the flow with the energy. It's beautiful. It was the most ancient way of using astrological energies all the way back to Babylonian times. So if you would like to know more about your chart personally and how your own growth and self-awareness could increase, reach out to me with an email, kk@kkastrology.com, and ask me about getting a private coaching session. Have a fabulous week. Bye now.